Okay, so it's 5:31 on the 10th, and as you can tell, my background is a boat and a tractor. Therefore, I am in the shop, and in my kitchen slash living room. See, this is my big cozy chair out here. So, yeah, this is where the action happens out here. Well, not all the action because it's been too cold, but I just saw a news report for the weather here, and next week it's supposed to be in the 70s or 80s, and she was very concerned, the news person, and she really was trying to be gentle with people of Boise and the Treasure Valley, which I live in the Treasure Valley, that the temperatures are going to be so high, but the Treasure Valley is the farms. So I'm thinking, oh, I bet the farms don't like to be hitting 70s and 80s in March. But I know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to get out my my lounge chair and go outside and get a suntan as well. What else is there to do? Unless, of course, the world blows up. It sounds like it's about to blow away over in, I think it's like Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas. There's a few more places where they have a huge storm coming in today. And they're all in, I think they're on tornado warnings and bad weather warnings. I don't even know what else. So, yeah, we got bad situations going all over the place still. It's going to keep going. That's the thing. And then what you got to think about is um, it's like, it's everybody's awakening. It's like, there's people in all these places. This is, man, everything is flimsy and my nose is running, as usual. So, um, but what was I gonna say? I just saw somebody who was talking about, she was very concerned, and she was really trying to pass the word because she is really having attacks during the astral. I've been talking about this for, it's always just so funny when I will start talking about something because I know I sound so kooky, and then I'll start hearing other people talk about it like weeks later, months later, years later, and some things. But so, I mean, I know I'm not crazy. Yesterday, when I was telling my daughter something, though, yesterday, she's like, well, what makes you think you're not just hallucinating? It's like, well, I've been doing this since I was 3 years old, so yeah, nobody's going to convince me I'm hallucinating, especially at this point. I've seen way too much of being told something, and then there it is. So, yeah, it's something you start to live. You just know. It's not like I'm hallucinating. I'm not just making stuff up in my mind. There's communication. And this was another thing, too, as I was trying to explain was, because she's like, well, isn't that just your gut? Because I said, aliens. I've been talking to aliens since I was a little kid. And then she's like, well, isn't that just your guides that you were talking to? And I was like, yeah, but that's what we think are aliens. It's just other beings. It's other beings you're connected to. And, that's the thing. Aliens aren't monsters. They aren't monsters out in the sky. They're beings that you have connection to throughout the eons of time. They're all sorts of other beings, just other souls living lives, and they can move through the realms in a different way than us because this is the thing. We can also move through the other realms. We just came into dark. Sometimes it's like I wish I could just draw what I see in my head. Because it's like you're out in the light and then you decide to go into the dark. Once you go in the dark, it's like you're trudging through something deep. You can't just zip around and move around like you had before. And so that doesn't mean we don't have the ability, because after this all occurs and we start going, living more like we're in the higher realms again, then we're going to be able to once again move around like that. But it's kind of like we have to be reminded. We have to remember That's why we got to reconnect to ourselves. And that's why all this stuff is happening. Because all those storms and devastation and people losing their businesses, losing their homes and stuff is their come to Jesus moment. It's their moment in time where it's like all is lost. Now what do? I look up. I look in. I try and figure out what does it all mean? Why? I'm working hard. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Why does this happen? And then that's when there's a whole thing about the awakening is about you tuning in, turning yourself on, coming back to self, and get out of this routine existence where you're just on autopilot and you're just living in this. Well, we can watch, we can see, what people are doing. They're just like disconnected from reality. They're just busy spinning their wheels, getting to where they gotta go, doing what they need to do, trying to be a good person, or some cases trying to be an asshole because they're defensive of the world. Somebody hurt them one time and they're gonna get even with everybody. So but that's the thing, why this stuff is happening. It's not because the little peon humans are evil and they're gonna burn in hell and they're stupid and stuff. Even the whole thing about living as in the battle zone and humans living in these. She's been whining all morning. She's been really whiny. And I don't know, I mean, she never has like health issues, but she does pant a lot, which is a sign of heart stuff. But I'm giving, I forgot to give her one thing. I gotta put that in her thing. Because I also got her that dog NAD stuff. Oh God, I gotta move, man. I'm so fucking uncomfortable. All yesterday, I was having these weird pains going like all over my body. Just like these shooting weird pains. And and I know there's like this energies and this frequency. There's all sorts of stuff going on. And I was like sitting there just like, oh my God, I'm so fucking in pain. And then I came across a video of somebody talking about, they were talking something about the energy and the frequency changing and whatnot. And they said if you are having a lot of pain and a lot of these weird feelings or nausea, like it was going through the list, you're having these things, that's because your energy is changing vibration, because not everybody's going up into the higher vibration. Some of us are and some of us aren't. And so I don't know, it does seem like it's doing some kind of an adjustment all the time, and it is uncomfortable as shit. But then also I think on top of that, Okay, so think about, I know I'm all over the place. I'm going to try and pull back though on some. Think about, like, so weird how you see things and then you got to try and explain it. And it's like, what? Okay, so think about, so you leave the light, you go down to the dark. And the dark is heavy, dense energy. So you're just vibrating much slower. And on one sense, it can feel really good, but on the other sense, it's like, man, I want to go a little faster. And so, and so at this point in time, where everybody's having these aha moments and they are beginning to elevate back to themselves. So once you reconnect to yourself, then it's like a lifeline and it starts pulling you towards the light, out of the dark. But the dark is holding on to you. And it's holding on to you emotionally and kind of like, like I would say, kind of like situationally. So through situations, it has a hold on you. And so it's you're trying to, with your lifeline, you're trying to pull towards, and it isn't like say for instance your higher self's not going to be sitting there pulling like tug of war or something. That's not going to be, it's just going to be giving you the lifeline because you have to do the work. Nobody can come in and save you. Even when your guides are communicating with you, they're not trying to save you. They're only going to tell you things that will assist you in saving yourself. And so you are trying to pull yourself up and out, but this tar is pulling, and it looks like kind of like tar, but it also looks like it turns into fingers. So it's this dark entities, this dark energy holding on to you. And the only way it can hold on to you is because there's something to hold on to. And that's the pain and suffering in you. That's your anger, your bitterness, your resentment. All of those kinds of things are what it can hold on to. And then, it's almost like that there's like two coaches at play, and one is creating situations for you to keep exposing this side of you, but the other one is trying to get you to notice, if you complete the cycle, if you look at it, you can release it. But a lot of people are like trapped in it. So it's like you have like a dark one trying to create situations that's going to keep you angry, but the light one tries to show you how to use the situations to grow from, say. So you have these situations that keep occurring, that keep pulling this darkness, this anger, this bitterness out in you. And so it keeps coming to the surface, but that's your opportunity to release it. But a lot of people play into it and get angry and blame and frustrated. And the biggest thing I think that creates that is because they have no insight into reality. And so they're stuck spinning their wheels in what feels like the real life. But this isn't. This is just an opportunity of expression to figure yourself out, to find yourself. So that tar is like holding you, and you have this creating these situations which just keeps pulling you back. So these dark, tarry fingers keep holding you, and you have this lifeline. Though, the more you connect through your heart and your like these two spaces. That's like the trifecta, like because through your heart and through your mind's eye, then you connect to the light, and then you are able to pull yourself going forward. But see, it's a humbling experience, because you have to look at yourself in every situation. So all the situations happening, you have to look at yourself. And the only way I can think of it to say is just like, like when you're getting angry, to be like, why am I so mad about this? What is making me so upset about this? Even though it seems like it's real, like justified, it is like, why am I so caught up? Why can't I let this go? And that's where you gotta, ask the questions so you can start processing through, so you can work your way out of it. So then so you have this lifeline that's trying to pull you. Okay, so you're being pulled between two worlds right now, but it's you who has to pull. Don't forget, they've given you like the line, but you got to pull yourself out. And then you have these things that keep trying to pull you back, and you have to keep on like pushing them off. But you push them off by releasing things, because that's what they hold on to, is the things in you. They can't hold on to just you. They can only hold on to the emotional damage that is created inside of you. And so as you can release or heal those wounds, they lose their grip on you. And so they lose their grip on your soul, your energy, by you releasing what it is they hold on to. And that's the part where the coach on the light side tries to give you insight, is to the parts of you that are being held on to. But that's where you have to be honest with yourself and your ego work and all of that. So that all goes together. So then it starts pulling towards light. Okay, there was something I was seeing earlier. So when you're being pulled, and then, okay, so So like it creates a static, like a chaotic, like I had talked about before, where you're going between two cities and the radio station messes up, so you're between two worlds. And so there's a static. So you're in this static. So it's hard to, but that's where you got to focus more on here. That's why the focus needs to be in here, because the chaos, the static is like you're trying too hard. You're trying too hard to figure out what's happening there. What's happening with WW3, what's happening with the files, what's happening with all this stuff. That is the static. And that's where you need to quit focusing on the static and trying to hear, like, what's this one, and you got to go focus on you, and then it will give you more clarity. But so as you are being pulled more towards this energetic field of a higher vibration, like the one station, then it is they're turning theirs up. So they're making it louder, and they're creating more disruption. And so that's kind of like what is interfering, like in people's astral time, the communication and stuff. It's because it's like it's amped up. They've turned it up because it's like they're chasing us almost. But they can only go so far. They can't go up higher than where they can go. They can just, it's like they're turning it up louder. And so but that's all of that noise is what you have to break free from. Once you can break free from it, you go into a next kind of vibration, next kind of realm of existence, kind of. And I think that is kind of what maybe what they're talking about, like the pain in your body and stuff is feeling, is you're trying to pull free from this lower density, because you do have to let go of a lot of concept, a lot of ideas of who and what you are. Even me, like I have said a whole bunch of times, this whole concept of you being flesh and blood. And so, because we're not really flesh and blood, we're really a hologram, basically, we're a projection in a field of energy. And so, but through the hologram image, through the projection, there is a ability to exist in the senses of feel and touch and hear and smell and all that stuff, so that you, so it's, that kind of is something that kind of holds you more. And so you're breaking, like pain and suffering pain and stuff, it holds you more in that space. And it takes a lot to be able to override that programming, that system. And so that, though, I think is part of the pulling free out of this dark space and pulling up, is a lot of letting go. And I don't know, if that has to do with why everything is hurting. It's like because you're letting go of it. I'm not really sure. Like I don't know. I can just see what I can see, and I try and put what I see. I try and hear what other people are saying, and I try and it starts going together to me, like so. Anyways, but I've been talking about in the dream space where it seemed like there's some kind of an interference. It's like somebody taking you into these nightmares or something, which I haven't been having nightmares over the last couple weeks, I would say. I don't remember when I said the last one was. But but it still is like this intense, man. It's crazy. The dream stuff is crazy. And I don't remember where I was last night. I cannot remember, but I had I kept having an awareness too in the room. I think because my daughter was there and stuff, and so it just was more things, and then you don't want to be like being disruptive to somebody else or whatever. I don't know, just was increasing my awareness. But so anyways, but this girl was like, something is interfering, something's trying to, this big dark energy, a big darkness is trying to interfere, and it's coming into the dream space, and it's trying to interfere with your communication and stuff. And I would say that's the dark energy being turned up, because I would say when it's getting closer, it's because you're getting closer. And so it's turning it up because it's doing everything it can to keep its grip on you. But it can't hold on to you unless you're holding on to it. And the way to, you hold on is through resentment and anger and bitterness and division and all of those low vibration experiences or feelings, which even the people who continue to hold on to them, it's not like that they have failed, oh, they messed up, they failed. No, it's because it's only a page out of a book of their lessons. So this stuff that's happening right now is just one chapter in their lessons, because don't forget, lessons come in a range of experience. Like when I was talking about that one day where I said, like, the pole of existence, like the curtain rod, and then the curtain has all these different holes to hold it onto the curtain rod. So you got to think of the rod being your lessons, and the holes being the chapters, and the holes would be your different lifetimes. So you come in and learn through this chapter. So you're a poor woman living rural who you had 2 kids, they died, somebody came in and messed you, like all these different life, these crazy stories that we've gone through are all lessons. They're all chapters to learn from, and some are super hard and they really affect you, and so they not assume, not to contradict, those words don't seem right, but they develop your attitude in what is holding you back right now. Is the things that they're holding on to, the dark energy is holding on to those things. So that's where you have things that have happened to you in the past that you're unaware of, that is a part of your problem of why they have a grip on you. And so that's why you got to go deep into your release. But you will have other connections to the lessons. So it's not that necessarily you have to just go in and remember this whole past life and try and come to make sense of it. It's more of that the issue, because it wouldn't just play out in this one, because it has the whole of that lesson has a whole bunch of different times, so you're seeing what you're learning from all different perspectives. And so it is and sometimes you get so affected that the next one is very close. It's like trying to always pull you into a bigger perspective. And so the perspectives, that's what you need to focus more on. And right now, with these things that are happening, are creating an experience for you. They're creating emotions and how you're feeling about all this stuff going on. Well, that's attached to your lessons. It's attached to the thing you're working on. And so the thing you're trying to release or see all aspects, parts, perspectives. So it is, like I had said before, it's like it's so perfect and intricate. And so that's where you need to really focus on your emotions. Why is this happening to me? What is this causing me to feel? Why do I feel this way? And work your way through it, because that is the gift to self. Is it's not going to just be that you have to remember this or you have to go back there or whatever. You have to just tune into yourself. You have to try and understand yourself, because in that understanding is where you begin to release the things with a easier momentum. And even when you do, there's things that will be like it's little by little. So things will, situation will happen, And then you can think, oh man, I'm doing so good. I had a totally different reaction. And then something will happen, and then it will be a little bit spicier. It'll be a little bit tougher. And each time it will do that, then, looks like something over there. I don't know what it is. It's probably just a piece of wood, but it looks like an albino cricket. There's bugs in the garage, but it's still kind of cold, even though it's going to be. But next week, man, when it goes hot, that's going to be bug central, man. So, anyways, it is what it is. Which one thing I saw yesterday I made another mistake about something, so I have to clarify another thing on the Jim Carrey thing where I kept saying he's in Greenland. I don't know why I kept thinking that. It was New Zealand. So he wasn't in Greenland, so it didn't have to do with Valhalla. He was in New Zealand, which is still an island, because that one girl with the little wand things, she's like, he's on an island, but she goes straight to like an Epstein thing. So, but it was, no, it was supposedly, if this is true, then he was in New Zealand, which I don't know. I mean, it would still seem like it would be for a reason. It doesn't seem like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go on vacation. Here, I'm going to send in a stand-in to go get this Lifetime Achievement Award from the César thing, which right now it's just like award season. It's kind of atrocious, really. It's kind of like, ugh, God, you guys are up your own assholes, aren't you? Here, we're going to award each other. We're going to get together and we're going to walk around in fancy clothes and pat each other on the back. And then we're going to televise it so all the peons can watch. It's like, it's really kind of gross. But and there's more than one Lifetime Achievement Award too, because at the same time Jim Carrey's stand-in person was getting his. This Harrison Ford was getting one from the SAG Awards, but Harrison Ford, he was getting his with he was a lot more serious. He's like, I think he's like in his 80s or something. Yeah, because I think he's like 20 years older. I don't know. I think I'm like his wife's age, and he's pretty old. I don't know. He looks like a little old man, and even though I think they still stick him in movies and they put on hair dye and make him try and look, put on, who knows what all they do in makeup. But anyways, there's more than, they have all sorts of awards. It's just like, Jesus Christ, you guys, man. Like award. And it's just, I don't know, just gross. But, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he could very well just be like, well, I'm going on vacation. I don't have time for that business. I'm going to send this guy. But it still seems like it's part of an operation. So, I don't know. We'll see how things play out. I mean, he is not he's not making any, there's nothing other than plastic surgeons going in and telling how much he spent and what all he did and just weird stuff, like, which, that this, if I'm right and he's just out there somewhere, and that just really shows a side of our society. It's coming to the surface. You see what I mean? So, yeah, these are so weird. So, anyways, but I also saw this video because at the same time they got all these award shows, it's also, I guess, the season of runway model shows, whatever they are. So it's spring season of the new styles, whatever. I don't know. Do they pay these celebrities to go and watch? Like, I don't know. Because they all come and they're all so, like, get on the front row and they're all so serious and they're all like, I don't know. It just seems weird to me. But I just saw this one clip. So Oprah, she's showed up with Gail, and I was walking in, and she's got this really long braid now, which I think she was put down. I think she was been gone for like 4 or 5 years, which I saw somebody see one of the videos and say that's not her. So I don't know. It's just weird how they just bring these people out after they're dead and gone and just keep tramping around all over the place. But and so she was going to one of the award things. Well, this video that just keeps popping up that I've seen, I think it's Jessica Chastain. She also has a clone lookalike. So maybe it's her, but I'm pretty sure it's the Jessica one because I think she's won like Academy Awards or something, award winning. And so she's sitting there at one of the fashion shows, and then Oprah sits down next to her, and then and this is just, I don't know, it just seems fucking ridiculous, man. So Oprah sits down next to her, and she's sitting here looking this way, and then it's like Oprah taps her, and so she turns. She's, oh my god, oh my god, and then starts, Oprah, it's Oprah, and starts talking to her. And I mean, it's all seems ridiculous, but the biggest ridiculous thing is, who the fuck's filming this? Like, what? What the fuck, man? Are you joking? What is this? Everything's fucking staged? Give me a fucking break. And then, and I'm thinking, well, she did seem like she was surprised. Well, she's a goddamn actress with award-winning actress, so I would hope she could act surprised. So, anyways, I don't know. It all just seems absurd. So, it's ridiculous. It's, and I just gotta let go. You can't be like, oh my God, I'm so mad they're doing this. It's like, fuck it, they're doing weird shit. Like, I don't know. I mean, their whole existence seems staged. And it's like, well, that one guy who had said, that musician who had gone to Hollywood and said, that the people who do end up making it, they do, like, sell their souls. They do just become, I had talked about this because I had seen it in one of these old movies. I think it was a trilogy movie. And it was, this girl who wanted to be a famous actress, and this was like in the 50s, and so she wanted to be a famous actress, and they were out at a nightclub or something, and her friend, both these girls wanted to be actresses. I don't remember if the other one did as much as this one, but so it's this place, and they meet this famous guy, and he's an actor, and so he asks the one girl out, I think it was, or it was set up or something. They do a lot of that business too, set up these weird things. That's why I said that whole thing with Jim Carrey and Emma Thompson, especially for what happened in her career after that whole thing. It just seemed like a publicity stunt to me. And because, I don't know, it just seemed a little more private than that he's going to go online and start doing all that. I don't know. We don't know the people, so whatever. But anyways, so in the movie, the girl who, the roommate, so the one girl's getting ready for a date. The guy's coming to pick her up. The one girl's getting ready for a date, and she goes in to take a shower or put on her makeup, whatever the hell she's doing, and asks the other girl to iron her dress because she's only got one. And the girl burns it on purpose with the iron and ruins her dress. But since she only has one, she can't go on the date now. She's screwed. She can't borrow a dress from this girl. So now she's just like, oh my God, well, the other girl, she'll go with her. So what it already shows, this girl will do what it takes. She doesn't care. She's going to rise to the top. She's opportunistic. She's going to do what she's got to do to rise to the top. So she screws over her friend, and then she goes out with the guy. Then she comes on hard and strong and becomes, coupled up with this guy. And but the guy won't do anything. He won't make moves. He won't do anything. And she's just like so confused. And then she finds out when she goes deeper into it, she'll do anything to become famous, that when you sell your soul, say, when you become famous, you become like a doll. You become a living doll. You lose who you are, and you become a product of the system, a product of the studio or something. And that's what this guy was kind of saying too. It was when I was hearing this guy, I was totally thinking about this movie. And so then she decides to, drink the juice, whatever, like Taryn, what's her name, had said they do. Once they'll ask you, do you want it all? Do you want the fame? Do you want everything? And if you say yes, then have a little of the elixir. And she said she was offered it 3 times and she refused it every time. And then, she ends up playing crackheads and stuff, where when she had started, she was like the cute if you see really old stuff of her, it's different. And then, she ends up being, and she's a kind of a character, that's for sure. But but anyways, but so this in the movie, the actress, she wants it. And so she does whatever, and I don't remember if it's like fade out and then come back, but you know what's going on. And you can't do anything. You can't have sex. You can't do anything because you're a doll now. You're just something that goes out there, and like a doll. It's just like, something that we play with. It's our toy. We get our little idol. And so she goes to an award thing with her fella, which they're just these little Barbie and Ken. They've lost all their stuff, and they just go out there, and it shows. I don't know. The whole thing is just kind of eerie because she has all these people loving her and everything, but she's just this stiff kind of character that she can't, just a fake smile. It just becomes this thing where she no longer is really living her life and being able to do regular things or anything, and just like you gave up all of that for this, but that's what she wanted. But then it just showed this really dark side. But anyways, it does have a lot of like metaphor or whatever. But anyways, it was reminding me of what that guy had said about when he went to Hollywood, and he was like, hell no's in my scene, because for one thing, there was a lot of beings that were really, really old, and people swapping out bodies, and what you had to give up to become a part of that system and stuff. So he was like, no, I'm not doing it. So anyways, when you see these little play out things, it just reminds me of those little, these little doll things, and they are playing out this stuff for our amusement, for the amusement of the puppeteers, but it's our distraction. It's to keep us on the hook of an idol, and that they are just being puppeted. So anyways, yeah, it's absurd. It's like you're getting this really organic moment, of, oh, look, they saw each other, and how much she really respects Oprah and all this stuff. It's like, give me a fucking break, man. Who the hell is filming this? How, like, what? Somebody's just sitting there filming all these things, and these people just don't even notice that they're just right up there. It's like, give me a fucking break, man. So, anyways, it just seems absurd. Which TMZ is absurd. Even TMZ is coming out, oh, no, that's really Jim Carrey. It's like, you guys don't know shit, dude. It's just like Jessica Chastain. She knows Oprah so well, but she can't recognize that's not the right one. It's like, you guys are a whole bunch of freaking... It's absurd. But I guess that's probably part of your contract. Like, even if you run across somebody and it's not the original, you got to still pretend it's the original, because the original will come and get you if you don't. I don't know. It's weird. I have no idea. But the whole thing is just weird. And it's part of this weird realm. And the thing is, too, is that they are like... Yeah, it's like that fly paper or those little gummy mouse trap things. It's like they're running in and then they're stuck in it. It's like, how do I get out of here? Well, you're pretty damn stuck. So, I don't know. You're on your own on this one. All I can say is connect to your higher self and see if they can get you out of there. But they can't get you out of there. You have to get yourself out of there. And then that's the thing, is like what some of these people will do is this concept of selling their soul. So, yeah, it's like they're on this fly paper. It's like, oh, I can't get up. It's like, well, I mean, you'll get off when you die, but then on some of these, they just want to keep them alive, so they don't even let you die, I don't think. So, because you have some that don't. There's some that don't want to die. It's like, oh, I don't want to die. They scare people about death or something, which death isn't scary. It's the exit out of this realm. It's like you want to get out of here, It's not someplace you want to stay. But they convince some of these people, oh, no, you want to stay. Stay here forever. Stay here with me forever and ever. It's like, no, I'm good. I got other places to be. I got better things to do. So, yeah. But they do trick some people into thinking like, oh no, and fame, having people love you, that's all you need. It's like, nope, you need a lot more than that. And I think there's people out there like Jim Carrey who said, yeah, I'll go when you get it, and then all of a sudden you find out, hey, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. It's not what it's all cracked up to be. So yeah, it is a trap. It is like, and it's your own desires that trap you. And so and that's where you got to release. You got to release your desires and stuff. And so, anyways, yeah, we probably will see, like, at the end of a vampire movie when the vampire gets killed, and then they go through this fade away kind of real quick through aging, and they'll like look young, and then all of a sudden they look like they're 200,000 years old, and then they turn into dust, and then they fly, and then they don't fly away. The dust just blows away. Then it wouldn't surprise me if we see some stuff that is like, that we see some people who age like that. Like, they die, and then I wonder, I don't know. I don't think they're going to televise any of that stuff because it is low vibration. But the whole thing is, too, is that so many people don't want to wrap their heads around that these people are not, like, like I said, they're not just cannibal and stuff like that. They aren't the same as us. They're totally different beings than us. And they are not doing anything that we're not doing. And they're being tricky. They're tricking us. But it's our own gullible stupidity, our own ignorance that keeps us tricked. And once we wake up and we get our shit together, they can't fool us. But your desires trap you. And then we eat other beings that we look at as stupider than us, an easy target, easy prey. That's how they look at us. So it's it's just other beings. Like, and the whole thing is too is we come here, and they can't really get you. Like, even if they were to eat you, they can't really eat your soul. They can figure out. I mean, they've got souls trapped. And I wonder if they've already released a lot of those souls. But they've definitely trapped souls, which I kind of feel like is a little bit of this sentient AI, is souls that they put into black boxes, and they're trying to use their energy or something. But, your energy is going to continue no matter what form it goes into. It's not like they can eat your energy, but because, like, their big thing is, like, scaring somebody. And scaring them puts out a lot of energy into the tissue, which it's just so crazy when you talk about some of this stuff because it's, nothing's real. So, but in their world, it seems real. So, put out all this stuff into your tissue, and then they consume it. So then they get that energy charge, which gives them extended life. Like this chrome stuff that is comes out of your adrenals. That is a big charge of bringing life back for them. So I don't know. I mean, some of these people are beings, whatever you want to call them, they are way old. And so, yeah, it would be interesting if, you're somewhere and you see somebody die, and then they go through this whole aging thing, and then they just blow away like dust. It's like, what the hell just happened? And supposedly, even at the morgue, there's different places, because not everybody's human. And they've not been telling us, but now it's come out, and that they have a part where the humans go and a part where the unknowns go. But maybe the unknowns just go into a place until they gather themselves and pull themselves back together so that they can leave again. Because that's the thing too with the vampires and stuff. Like, you go and injure them. I just watched an old vampire movie the other day called Near Dark. and then, like, you injure them, you can just heal the injury. They don't stay injured. You just have to heal it. And so if they have a space where they just, like, somebody comes in and they got hurt and then they're soon dead, and so then they send him to the morgue, and then the morgue is like, oh wait, this isn't a human, just stick them over there in the freezer, they'll be back up and out in a minute. They'll be out of here in no time. I don't know. I have no idea. But you know what I do know? There's a guy in Kentucky, and he found a dead deer on the side of the road, and he decided he was just going to go have his way with it, and he got caught. So now he's in jail. It's like, I just can't even get over some of the, like, what? I mean, you're not going to find a woman doing that. That's the thing. It's like, what is going on with these men? Man, I cannot believe how much this bestiality shit, man, and even dead necrophilia. I mean, and then there's a guy who got busted. I think he's in England, and he got busted because he worked at the morgue too, and then he ended up doing a couple of people in, and they got traced back by his DNA, and then they found him, and then they found out that over the 15 years he's worked at the morgue, he's like done it with 150 at least girls and women. It's like, what? I don't even, like, oh my God, that is just so creepy to me. Like, how? I mean, can't you figure anything else out? At least the ones that are doing it to food makes more sense than that. Like, gross. It seems so creepy and desperate. And, I don't know. I mean, my mind can't even wrap around it. Like, even if you saw a dead animal on the side of the road, like, usually, you're driving past, you see a dead animal, it's like, oh, poor thing. Instead of looking at it like, ooh, there's a nice one. I'm just going to pull over and have a little bit of action there. And on the side of the road, he got busted by somebody coming down the road. And then why would you not think, like, ooh, what if there's bugs? I don't know, man. It just is so weird. And then it's like, man, if my husband or something worked at the morgue, I mean, oh God, I swear to God, I heard something about this, and I think the woman, she was getting some kind of weird thing, like she was having some weird issue, and so she went to the doctor, and then they were like, well, you've got this certain, like, dead cell, like some kind of thing, and so your husband is going and doing it to the dead and coming home and doing it to you. And then just think about, like, is there oral involved? Like, oh, God. Oh, my God. I don't know, man. This world's too much, man. It's too much. Man, and this new one, we're not going to be thinking about people in necro, all these pedos, these necros, these beasts. Like, what in the world? This world is so dark and decrepit. But, there's something in these people. They're like, yeah, the opportunity's there. I'm going for it. It's like, that's the thing. That's what this whole world is all about. It's about, what pulls you, what is the, so you can see for yourself who you are, so you can figure yourself out. And it's, and then here we are, in this, like, witnessing what everybody will do, what people will do. Like, we're about to witness all these doctors are going to go down, because what they will do is they'll allow a lot of people to die so that they can get a fat checkbook. So it's, there's all these different things that we were witnessing, but it really, when it comes down to it, really has nothing to do with us. I mean, yeah, we're in the same space as them, and we got to pull kind of free from it mentally, because, this is a space of learning, and just like oh dear fucker guy, it doesn't mean like every life he comes in and he's some necro freako. I mean, he could do it a bunch of times. I don't know, but it's still, this is a place where people come to learn. So say this guy was doing it, like he at some other different times of his existence, he was doing it then and he can't break free from this. He comes into other lives, and then he sees another corpse, and he's like, hell yeah, and he just keeps doing it. And then the universe is going to assist you by making sure you get caught, you have consequences, and the consequences will get tougher and tougher and tougher until you can break free from whatever it is that's got a hold on you. So that's another thing that we're witnessing right now, is a lot of consequences. I mean, what people have, but it all has to do with their storyline. It has to do with their chapters and where they're at in their chapters. And so, yeah, some people have completed the book. You've completed all of your lesson plan, and so you're ready to move into the next period of time of lessons, the next period of opportunity of experiences. So you completed what you came to learn from this one, and through a whole bunch of different lives, a whole bunch of different chapters, you completed it, and now you're ready to move into the next ones. And it's not like this, winner, chicken dinner, we're going to heaven and you're not, haha. It's not that. It's you've completed this and now you're going to another one. The ones that don't go, they are still in their lessons. It's not like they don't ever get to go, now they're stuck. It's like, no, what holds them back is themselves, and what holds them back is that they still have things to learn. So they're going to go back and go through their lessons to complete their chapters, so that at some point in time they will also ascend. But always when you're ascending, you have to do the work. And so it's better preparing you for the work that needs to be done. And anybody who's going through this knows this is work, man. It's work to face yourself, to deal with things yourself, to take responsibility for yourself, not to just blame everybody in the world for your problems, and to deal with things in a more mature way, not getting all caught up and emotionally, it's like an emotional stagnation, emotional depletion, emotional, what is that, it's like a, what is that called when you have something holds you back? So it's like something, you try and do this, but you keep getting held back. So it's something, it's because it has so much to do with your emotions. It's emotional maturity, emotionally being able to maneuver or manage yourself. And so when you're feeling overly emotional, and to me, when because the dogs will bring it out in me, man. I mean, who else is around to bring it out of me? But I did having to go through all of that stuff. Because even in my mom's, go try and live with your mom. I'm telling you, go try and live with if your parents are still alive, go try and live with them. You're going to be triggered. It's going to bring stuff up. And you can make a choice. You're going to go in and argue and fight. Oh, you're so mean to me. Or are you going to go and sit with yourself and try and understand your stuff? So you have all these different things. Like for me, it was part of my lesson thing to be back there and go through that. So I have been around other people. But the thing is when the dogs start bringing stuff up in me, like impatient and anger, or taken advantage of, I definitely feel taken advantage of them a lot. It's like, just like this morning, I didn't want to get up. It was like, when I looked over at my thing, because we went to bed later too, and I looked over at my thing and it was 4:30. I'm like, oh hell no, and still it's like, hell yeah we are. She just doesn't stop. I was like, God damn it, you only care about yourself. She's like, yeah, that's right. Get over it, chick. And so yeah, I have to work through it. I have to get over it. And so it's, and then a lot of times, because I'll feel like a crazy person sometimes when I'm getting mad at the dogs. I'm trying to do something and I'm getting mad because they are under my feet and they won't leave me alone. And everything I'm trying to do, they got to sniff it 5 minutes. And it's like, come on, man. And, sometimes, to me, the reflection of self, I'll think like, I seem like I am crazy, losing my mind. And And on those kinds of things, it's like, well, you just have to accept. Yeah, sometimes you do. Sometimes you get upset. Sometimes you get mad. Sometimes you get frustrated. It's not, that doesn't make you a bad person. It just makes you see like what your triggers are. Like this kind of thing is like, so I have problems with feeling taken advantage of. I have problems with patience. Like I can see those things, but it doesn't mean that is the stuff that will hold you back, because a big part of the things is letting go of it, accepting yourself, being okay to not be perfect. It's like you don't have to be perfect to move on. You just have to accept yourself. You have to learn to love yourself. So you have to see these parts of yourself, and then you have to, if there's something to release, then you release it. And if there is parts of you that you just need to accept and move on, because then that doesn't mean that you are emotionally immature. It's when you can accept parts of yourself, that is a movement in the right direction. To always be thinking, well, I'm broken, I can't be fixed, well, I don't know how to fix myself, and stuff, that is more of staying in frustration and staying mad at yourself and not accepting yourself. And it's such a big part of all of this is the acceptance of yourself. So it's not like every little thing. The things to me that stood out, like, and everybody's got their own lesson plan, everybody's got their own stuff. But definitely to me, a big part of what my stuff was is learning how to have boundaries. So learning how to just not give and give and give and give. And so, yeah, when they are pulling and pulling and pulling on me, it's like, oh, you guys. And, in the thing, that I can see is like, do more things for yourself. Take better care of yourself. And, like, go out and go shopping if you want. Go do something that's just for you. But so learning how to have boundaries with humans, because when the humans are trying to pull on you and they're trying to take from you, and you're just giving because you don't want them to like you, you don't want them to be mad at you, you don't want to seem like a bitch, you don't want to seem like this or that, in your mind you think you have all these things that you associate it with, but you have to be able to be like, no, I need to be able to say no, I need to be able to say I can't, I need to be able to say I don't want to do that, or whatever it is. I saw this video, I think it was like a week ago or something, and this person was having this big episode kind of thing because they had to go somewhere and they had to set boundaries with somebody, and it was just like spinning them out. And it does at first. When you start setting boundaries, you feel like a monster, you feel like a jerk, you feel like an ass, and a lot of people will have that reaction like, how dare you, man, I've just asked you to do this one simple thing and you can't do it. No, sorry, I can't. And so they will get real mad and they'll want to pull you back to who you were before. Of just do it and do it and do it. Even when you don't want to do it, you're still doing it. And so those are, parts of you that you got to look at like, why am I doing these things? What am I trying to accomplish? I just want them to like me. I just want to seem like I'm perfect. I want to seem like I can do it all, whatever it is. But to me, anyways, boundaries was a big one. And, so I had to work on that. I had to work on self-image because I did not value myself. I didn't care about myself. In my life journey was very much feeding into that kind of where it kept taking me in the other direction, and I had to really pull myself out of that direction and pull myself going in a more positive direction. And that was after my fourth, that is just a marriage. That's not even, there was lots of bad relationships in there. Like, there was a lot, man. That was just 4 marriages, but there was other boyfriends, there was even friends in there that were really bad relationships. And so you have to really pull yourself free to go into a more positive direction, and which goes through you valuing yourself, being like, no, I'm not that desperate. I don't have to have a boyfriend. I don't have to have a best friend. I don't have to do that. I'd rather sit by myself. I'd rather sit with my dogs. And even though they can drive me crazy too, but than to feel like this person doesn't value me, they don't care about me, they don't see me, And it's like, no, I don't need that in my life. So, anyways, but we all have our own things that we're here to learn and experience. And then throughout those things, you are releasing forgiveness, your bitterness, and stuff like that. Because throughout all of the different relationships that you got hurt in, then you have to let go of it. So you got all these different things that are healing, but remember that they are all perfectly timed into what it is that you have to release from other ones. So they come in so that you can process through these ones and release all of the different stuff. So it all goes together. It's not like this life has nothing to do with any of your other ones. It's all a part of this one lesson plan. And so whatever, once you can start figuring out what your lessons are, then it kind of gives you an edge up to what you're working on. So it's like you just look at all your different lessons, a theme throughout your life, and then you start being able to see, oh, yeah, I was always like, man, if I would have had better boundaries, if I would have cared about myself more, that kind of stuff wouldn't have happened. If I would have been more, like, no, I'm not going out with you. I don't have time for you. But you're always like, well, I could help them. I could change them. I would be nice, whatever. So those are the things that you got to go through and figure out and stuff. So, but once you figure it out, your theme and stuff, then you can start going through and changing your practice, changing and doing things just like that girl. Setting a boundary, doing something that's very uncomfortable because you've not done it before. And then you got to sit with yourself on that. Like, oh man, I feel so cringy. I feel so like, oh, I'm a monster. Oh, why? So you got to go through that whole thing. But then things get easier and easier. And then, man, they will bring in your opportunities. Your opportunities, like you'll think, okay, I did it, I got through it, I set a boundary with somebody who was really hard to set a boundary with, and then once you do, then there's going to be somebody harder. It's going to get harder and harder and harder and harder. So it's not like, the first time it's like, oh, I won, I did it, every celebration, even though you will feel like you're celebrated by your guides and stuff. They're like, hell yeah, come on, girl. But they'll keep coming. You'll have more. And so it's just to fine tune yourself to be, because you can't come in with the hardest one right off the bat. It's going to come in slow and steady. And you heal that, you go through that, and then here comes another and another and another. So this has been a pattern of healing through all of these different opportunities. And so the people who have been really focused on their healing is because, they're finishing this lesson plan. They're ready. They're at that state of consciousness to be able to move forward and move into the next chapter of, whatever it is. And then the next place we're going is going to be so much about being a creator. And it's going to be so much based on love and acceptance and unity and community. So it's going to be you being able to learn about yourself in a more positive direction. Instead of right now, we're learning through a lot of negative. That's why we see all these like weirdo people, pervs and weird shit. But there's things that you learn from that when you cross or whatever, wherever you get to the next stage, you learn through all these different lessons. And then plus don't get all up in your own, patting yourself on the back of like, well, I'm not a bad person. It's like you've been a bad person. So just face the facts. You've been a bad person too. Just like there's a lot of bad people around us who do really weird, sicko stuff. We've all done weird, sicko things. It's just like, I don't know, sometimes, when you look back at yourself as a kid and you think, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Oh God, that's so embarrassing. And I don't want anybody to know. And then, but then it's like, well, that's just part of growing up. That's part of development. That's part of figuring stuff out. So it's not like you're a bad person or you're, but that's a stage in development. Well, that's in the micro, macro. These people who are doing weird things that seem like really sick, that's their That's a part of their development. And like I said, I've said it a bunch of times, the universe doesn't look at them and it's like, oh man, that's a real sicko, get rid of that one. And the thing is if you get too caught up in your sickness, then you just are a product of the dark. You just stay more in the dark, and they don't care. Get as sick as you want to get. They like it. But when you want to get back to the light, it's not like the light is sitting there going like, oh God, no, we're not taking that one back. He's a real sicko. Getting over there, the deers like sicko. It's like, no, because he's going to go see himself. Only he's going to get a chance to go and look from the outside and be like, ooh, why would I do that, man? Oh, God. But the universe just, it's in the long game. It knows you're going to go through all these different things and you're going to learn from them. So it's all about the learning and the growing, because that's the expansion of the universe, and the universe is learning from your learning, from you growing and you learning. It learns and grows. And so it's not looking at, any of these people like that they don't deserve to go to heaven. They're damned to hell. So we don't want to get caught up in judgment of them, because that's a low vibrational thing, and that's going to hold you back. So you got to get back into the groove of the high vibration. It's like not judgmental. It's like, hey, make your mistakes. Go for it. I'm going to go over here while you go make your mistakes. I don't have to be a part of it. I don't have to participate. I don't have to be involved. But I'm going to move over in this direction. But you don't want to be like, keep focusing on like, oh my God, because that is going to hold you. It holds you in that space. So yeah, that's dark. That's being held in the dark. And that's where you could go in and look like, why am I being so judgmental? Why am I being so hateful about other people's mistakes? It's because, well, I've made some and I don't want to be thinking about mine, so I'm just going to point out everybody else's. Like, you got to figure it out for yourself. But anyways, but that's what all these things happening, all these things are to stop people from just their routine of just go, and to bring them to their knees and to bring them back into a point of time of reflection and get them to really start working on themselves and getting back in tune, because we are going to a completion. And the completion is getting closer and closer. There's nothing we can do about that. You're going to go where you're going to go. You're going to be where you're going to be. And so the period of time of completion is coming in quicker. And a lot of people, like I see people like, oh my God, I feel it's impending doom. And it kind of, to me, seems kind of concerning. Like, if it feels like impending doom to you, it's probably because you're not going forward. Because I think for the people who are going forward, it feels like, oh God, we're almost there. God, oh God, I can't wait, we're almost there. But for people who feel like, oh my God, it's going to be sucky, man, it's going to be the worst, I think it's because they're going to go back into, or they're going to be hit and face things that they don't want to face, things that they have been putting off facing, and they're going to get hit really hard with a wave of like, you've got to face this now, and it's going to be like, kind of like you're drowning in your own misery because you got so much shit to face. And so much of it about is letting go of this three-dimensional world. You got too much a hold on relationships or money or any of these things that bind you to this, and you're holding on tight, then that is going to hold you back, and you're going to have to face a whole bunch of stuff at one time. Is why do I hold on to this place so tightly? So anyways, that's it's just up ahead. It's up around the bend. It's like when you're going and you're driving through mountains and you're going around the turns, you don't know where that turn ends. It just keeps going and going, and it's like, man, is this gonna end soon? And that's where we're in the bend, we're in the turn where we can't see what's coming up ahead, but when we get there, we're going to be going back the other way. So this is where everything flips. And so that's going to be really discombobulating for a lot of people. And I think that is what is like our bodies are preparing us when we start getting into that state of vibration, is preparing you for what's going to flip and go the other direction. But a lot of people aren't being prepared. They aren't prepared. And so they are going to be hit really hard with a lot of discomfort. And so, but we're on the bend. we're close to whatever's coming. And who knows, how close that is. Is it hours? Is it days? Is it weeks? Is it fucking years? I think we're closer than years, but there's going to be more things that are going to happen. But there's going to be a lot of things that all of it's going to be releasing us from this realm. So even if it's like things happen, and then we still have people who are very connected to the medical. There's going to be lots of releasing from medical. There's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be released. There's a big one that's going now is the monetary thing. So I think that's what all this WW3 thing is all about. And I think there's going to be more. But when the money thing hits, it's going to hit hard to a lot of people. Way harder than people have any, especially for those of us who have been talking about it, facing it, and focusing on it for a long time. The other people haven't been. And so when they come in and they lose things, they lose their retirement, they lose their value of the things that they've worked so hard to have, it's going to hit hard. But those things are so that you go back through, like, well, what does it really matter? I can't take it with me. It was all fake anyways. The whole thing was fake. And then there's going to be a replacement system. So we're going to, have a new system, but got to let go of the old system. So anyways, there's still a lot going on, and we'll see, things, there'll be more clarity. I'll be glad just for my own personal clarity. That's what I'll be glad for. There's things that I just need to know, man. I just need to know the truth on some things. So, anyways, and I don't know when it's coming, and whatever I go through of my own needs of being able to need the truth is like, well, it is what it is, so I've got to just process through it. We all have things we got to just keep processing through. But through all the things, everything happening, don't get stuck on, God, I'm an idiot, God, I'm so stupid, I hate myself. No, you got to learn how to release and let go and forgive yourself and learn to like yourself, learn to love yourself. And learn to love yourself. You gotta let go of all the stupid shit people are doing and learn to love them. So learn to love yourself, learn to love everybody else, and learn how to maneuver through all of the static that they have going. Don't get too caught up in it. Don't get too hung up. Don't try and, figure it all out. Just let it be. Just watch it as it goes. And the big focus needs to be on you. That's where the focus needs to be. But anyways, we'll see. There's going to be things. There's going to be, just like I said, the more that it's like the closer we get, the louder they turn up the static. So it's, it's going to be more things and more things. So just got to watch as things play out and don't get too caught up in it. But there's going to be more things. It's going to keep playing out. More storms, more earthquakes. There's lots of people talking about this Madrid earthquake is coming. And that people are not going to be prepared for that. There's going to be more storms that are going to be, wiping out cities and stuff. So there's a lot still ahead. And there's a lot of people who feel it's all devastating, but it really, it's the end of an era. But the end of this one is the beginning of the next one. And, I can't wait to get to the next one. This one can't go fast enough to me. It's like, even though I say that, and then, but there's a reason. There's a reason of the pace. And, everybody gets their day. So you just got to just go with the flow. That's a big part of this whole learning is just go with the flow. So anyways, we'll see where the river takes us today. We'll see what happens. I know where I'm going on one thing. Today is, Max's last day. Oh, God, it makes me, I just can't even stand it. I think once it's done and it's over with, then it's going to be just like, we'll be like, okay, it's over now. But the building up to it and stuff, and then, I know his soul is going to be, who wants to be in a broken body where you're in pain all the time? And he looks so many times like he's just very confused. Even when my daughter saw him, she's like, oh my God, he looks like he's so old. I was like, I know. It was like he went from being one to all of a sudden he was like 90. I just remember being at the dog park. And I was talking to some lady or whatever, and she said, how old is that one? And I said, he's 8. And I said, but he suddenly started looking and acting like he's 90. I don't know what's going on with him, but now I know. I think he was struggling. And so, anyways, his struggles end today. It makes me sad. I don't want to talk about it. It makes me feel like I'm going to cry. So, anyways, that's what I'll be doing today. So, and then we'll be having our funeral and stuff with the dog. So, anyways, that's what I got going. So, anyways, I know we all have our own things going. So, I will, but I'll be back in the morning and I'll talk to you about the day today, tomorrow. So, I'll talk to you later. Bye.